Why was that a struggle?
Because I didn't have the courage to leave. I was forced. I was fired from every single job I ever got. So I clearly wasn't getting the message from day one, and it took me about 4 or 5 different jobs to go. Okay, now are you gonna get the picture?
Hi, welcome to Sharing with Susan B, telling stories from the heart. We're looking to inspire, telling stories of struggle, vulnerability, and lessons learned. Hi, I'm Susan Blaine. I'm here with a great guest today. Thank you so much for joining us for our video series. Joanna Lynn McBain, JL Core is what she's better known as. She's a fitness and wellness mentor, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of background on her. She found her passion in training and founded her gym, JL Core Gym. She started off as a certified yoga instructor and started to teach professional athletes that modality, and then introduced them to some ball therapy as well, and worked with the Ottawa 67s, worked with the Ottawa Red Blacks, and worked with the Nashville Predators for a number of years. She wrote her own ebook just last year with JL. We talked about, what did you want to be when you were a kid? She wanted to be a cowboy or a police officer. You worked in a motel, you did telemarketing, you did retail sales. You moved to Ottawa when you were 20. You were a secretary for D&D and the Ironworkers Union. But then what I found really interesting in talking with JL was that you were a cop.
OPP.
OPP. Okay, OPP. You're a mom, you're a husband, you're a mom of 2 boys and 3 dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. I'm so excited that you're here because you have a great story, and I know that people are going to be able to relate to that, and you're brave enough to come and share it. So thank you so much.
I'm more excited about having met you.
Oh.
You're an amazing woman.
Thank you. Tell us about what you're fired up about right now, what you're passionate about.
So right now what I'm doing is I've found that being in my studio and speaking to all the amazing ladies that I train, I want to go bigger to the masses. Like, I want to take it to a bigger platform because I feel like I want to reach more people. Okay. I have.
Not on the training aspect, from a personal development.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is really, for me, it's always about ego chatting in my ear every once in a while, that's when I know that I need to shake it up. And so when I'm in a routine and I know I've got it, I figured this one out, I always got to go to the next step.
Got to go to the next level, next chapter.
That's taking it to a bigger audience.
Yeah. Why are you so passionate about it? Why stands for what hurt you. So what was the big struggle?
So for me, the big struggle was, it took me quite a bit of time to have the courage to really be my true self and live my best life and do what I know ultimately what I'm good at, which was.
Why was that a struggle?
Because I didn't have the courage to leave. I was forced. I was fired from every single job I ever got. So I clearly wasn't getting the message from day one, and it took me about 4 or 5 different jobs to go. Okay, now are you gonna get the picture? Him above, are you gonna get the picture, and are you gonna move on? Are you gonna do what you're supposed to be doing? And that's helping women and inspiring women, and just the health and wellness. And then that's what I did.
And then finding your lane within that, right? Because it's competitive and.
Well, so what you start doing is, when I first got my yoga certification, I was like, namaste, and then I realized that is so not my voice.
No, your power.
I was pretending to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
And then I realized my audience that I wanted to teach was athletes. People that worked out in gyms, and then
that were driven, because you yourself
driven, high performance.
High performance, yeah.
That performance is everything to them, and so I ended up, getting that opportunity, and that led to one thing. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try the Red Blacks, and I went to the Red Blacks and I got that. So
what I find interesting about JL is that her backstory is very telling in that why you're so driven, and you're such a force. You're so powerful. I'm so inspired by you. And your personal, it goes really back to your personal struggle, right?
Yeah. So for me, as a young girl, I had a father that was, I know now and today is that he was very wounded, and he grew up with parents and a father that had their own issues. And so when you know better, you do better. And obviously he didn't know better. So he ended up
Did he keep you small? Did he
yeah,
snuff
yeah,
out your
he-
self-esteem?
completely, and
Yeah.
called me. Are we allowed swearing?
Yes.
Called me a fucking airhead my whole life.
Jesus.
And I just remember that. I remember
And you
thinking,
buy into that, right?
so I totally bought into
Sure.
that. So and that also led into all of the work that I was doing in all these other jobs in my life. I always thought, well, maybe it's me.
Yeah, of
Maybe
course.
maybe it's
Self-doubt.
me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe feeling like crap is normal. And he really did a number on me. And I realized in my 20s, I'm not an airhead. I've got
You got something to say.
I've
You got
got something
something
to
to
say,
do.
and-
You've got value.
And then I actually had to cut him out of my life,
Yeah,
just
that
because
happens
he's your
sometimes.
parents. It's funny because I was having a conversation with a girl this morning about how you don't have to have a relationship with people that are toxic. And even if they're your parents, you don't
Yeah.
have to go there.
No.
You can choose to remove yourself from that situation and, in fact, put boundaries.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I've
that
learned
is that what it taught you?
totally
Yeah.
taught me. And so when they're old school, they have an idea in their mind. So there's things that you can say and there's things that you can't.
Sure.
But I had to remove myself from that toxic environment, and that can be anything, a relationship. But I lived with that, and as a young girl, I idolized them.
Of course, of course. No, I totally get that. And it's a struggle for many. And that's why I was really excited that you agreed to participate in this and share your story. And what advice would you give to your younger self now, or someone coming up in the ranks? What advice would you give them?
So there was something that I've been telling my kids since they're old enough to understand conversation. And I used to always say, figure out what you love and find what you love and figure out how to make money at it. And you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah,
And
it's really good advice.
yeah,
And finding that is a bit of a journey for all of us. Hey, I'm 54 and I've just figured it out.
yeah,
Can we have some fun with some rapid fire questions?
sure.
You said you don't have a superhero, but maybe it's someone that you admire. Do you?
Oprah Winfrey is.
Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, I'm
there's
with you on
just-
that. Yeah, she built her whole empire on vulnerability. She's
Yeah.
my idol. Favorite food indulgence?
You know what? I love lobster and steak and salad. That's my
Really?
yeah,
Wow,
and
it's
French
so
fries.
healthy. Oh,
Whoa,
I
French
knew there
fries.
was something.
I went to the Bahamas last week, ate French fries the whole
The
week.
whole day at the buffet. There's that gravy, and you like just plain.
Just French fries and ketchup.
Natural French fries. All right. Something not too many people know about you. I know you're an open book, and you're so gracious about sharing everything. But maybe something fun that somebody doesn't know
Actually,
about.
something just popped into my mind. I count.
What do you mean count?
I count stuff. Like I'll count like the squares on that door, or I'll count the squares here. So I don't know. I count.
That's how that big, beautiful mind of hers works.
Yeah, I count.
Count. How about favorite book or a movie or a quote?
Favorite book is Firestarter Sessions by Danielle Laporte.
Oh, okay.
I love her.
Noted.
And favorite movie, Braveheart.
Braveheart. Oh, gory though, but good.
Yeah.
What's something that always makes you smile?
My dogs and my children. Mm-hmm. Actually, my children and my dogs. I don't want people to think my dogs are more important.
No, I don't want them to think that.
They bring a smile to my
What's
face.
the definition of success for JL Core in one sentence?
For me, the success comes from the results that I can yield for my clients. That's, if I can help them achieve an aha moment or
yeah, that's
a
powerful.
moment of, oh my God, I finally get it. Or, oh my God, this feels so good. It's helping somebody. That's the ultimate.
That's fulfillment, right?
It's totally, isn't it selfish?
No, no, because you're giving. No, not at all. But it fills you up big time. JL, thank you so much. I know we could go on and talk for hours. If you want to learn more about JL McBain, she has a website, jlcore.ca. We'll have that at the bottom. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yep.
And you can follow her. She's got some great posts. She is a maniac at the gym. And if you want to train and look as good as her, you know where to find her. But thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
love.
being here today.
Ciao.
Thank you. Cheers. Wow, that was amazing. I was so inspired by our guests today. I hope you were too. We've got some really cool things coming up. If you have any comments or questions, please contact me. My information's below, and we'll see you next time.